IGNOU PGDCSR Project for MEDSP-051, the complete guide. Here is a number that should change how you treat this course. The whole IGNOU PGDCSR diploma is 36 credits. MEDSP-051 is 8 of them. More than a fifth of your entire diploma rests on one project report. Most find that out after they have already chosen it. I am BK Sani, founder of IGNOUProject.com. Since 2010, I have guided IGNOU distance learning students through project work. In the next half hour, you get the IGNOU PGDCSR project for MEDSP-051, exactly as the School of Extension and Development Studies documents it. Elective decision, topic, supervisor, synopsis, calendar, report, and marks. Let us start with the direct answer. MEDSP-051 is project work in CSR. It is an 8-credit elective project course inside the IGNOU PGDCSR Diploma, the postgraduate diploma in corporate social responsibility. The same course also appears in the MA CSR Master's Program. You choose a CSR topic and an eligible supervisor, get a written proposal approved by the school, run a case study or a survey, and submit one report of roughly 10,000 words. The IGNOU PGDCSR project for MEDSP-051 carries 100 marks, and you need 40% to pass. Everything is decided by one written report read by an external examiner. And now the sentence that surprises almost every PGDCSR learner. The official school presentation on MEDSP-051 states, in plain words, that there is no assignment, no examination, and no Viva for this project work. No tutor-marked assignment, no term-end paper, no oral defense. An advantage and a trap. There is no Viva room in which to explain yourself. The report does all the talking. First, the program this project sits inside. IGNOU PGDCSR is the Postgraduate Diploma in Corporate Social Responsibility, offered by the School of Extension and Development Studies in open and distance learning mode. On IGNOU's official program page, it is 36 credits. The fee is 8,000 rupees for the full program. Minimum duration is 12 months and maximum is 36 months. Eligibility is graduation in any discipline. The medium is English only, and admission opens in the January and July cycles. The program coordinators named there are Professor Nisha Varghese and Professor P.V.K. Sasidar. Your proposal goes to them, not to your regional center. Here's the full 36-credit structure. MEDS-051, Fundamentals of CSR, 6 credits. MEDS-052, CSR Process 6. MEDS-053, CSR Implementation, 6. MEDS-054, CSR Projects and Programs, 6. And MSW-009, Community Organization Management, 4. 28 credits fixed. The remaining 8 are a choice. On the official school course table, 2 courses carry an asterisk. MEDSE-046, Development Issues and Perspectives, 8 credits, and MEDSP-051, Project Work in CSR, 8 credits. The footnote under that table reads, and I'm quoting it exactly, electives, one of the 2 has to be selected. Now sit with the arithmetic. 8 credits out of 36 is 22% of the IGNOU PGDCSR diploma. In the MA CSR Master's Program, the same course is 8 out of 72. About 11%. The identical project carries double the weight for a diploma learner. That one fact should change how much time you give it. And it is why this guide is separate from our MA CSR one. Now the 6 myths that cost PGDCSR students the most marks. Myth 1. MEDSP-051 is compulsory for every PGDCSR student. It is not. It is an elective paired with MEDSE-046, and you select one of the 2. Before you write a page, open your SAMOth record and confirm which of those 2 8-credit courses is actually sitting against your enrollment number. Myth 2, and this one costs real money. People treat MEDS-051 and MEDSP-051 as the same course. They are not. MEDS-051 is Fundamentals of CSR, a 6-credit theory course with a term end paper. MEDSP-051 is Project Work in CSR, an 8-credit project with no paper at all. One letter P for project separates them. Order the wrong help book and you have bought the wrong course. Myth 3. There is a Viva voce for the PGDCSR project. Several admission portals say MEDSP-051 is evaluated through the report and a Viva voce. The school's own presentation says the opposite in one line. There is no assignment, no examination, and no Viva for project work. Prepare for one if you like the practice, but do not build your mark strategy around it. Myth 4, the most damaging one online. That the PGDCSR report should run to 100 pages or more. Popular pages quote 50 to 100 pages and some quote 100 to 130. The official school presentation prescribes 40 to 50 typed pages, or about 10,000 words, with 10% variation. The project handbook wording is shorter still, at about 30 to 40 pages. The 2 official documents disagree on pages but agree on what matters. Write to the word count, not the page count. Myth 5. Send the PGDCSR synopsis to your regional center. For most IGNOU programs, that is correct. For MEDSP-051, it is wrong, and it is the commonest reason a PGDCSR proposal disappears. The proposal goes to the project coordinator at the school, at headquarters. The finished report goes somewhere else again. Both addresses are coming. Myth 6. That a PGDCSR diploma comes with a fixed salary band. You will find pages listing exact figures for a CSR officer or a sustainability analyst. IGNOU publishes no placement data and no salary data for this program. Treat any rupee figure you see as marketing, not information. Next, the decision itself. Project or theory paper. Most guides answer this question for a master's student. A diploma learner is in a different position, so the answer is different. A MA-CSR student who skips the project still has a second year and a master's degree at the end. A PGDCSR learner who skips it finishes with 5 theory results and nothing to put on a table in an interview. MEDSP-051 is the only thing this program produces that you can show someone. Set the 2 side by side and run yourself through 5 questions. 1. Can you reach a real CSR program? A company foundation and implementing NGO, a school or village where funded work has already run. 2. Can you find an eligible supervisor who will sign, not just advice? 3. Do you have 5 clear months before your target deadline? 4. Is your PGDCSR maximum duration still comfortably open? 5. Do you want CSR work or only the qualification? If 2 or more answers are no, take MEDSE-046. It is 5 blocks of theory with an assignment and an examination, passable from your study material. My working rule after guiding these for years is simple. If you already work in or near a CSR function, take the project. It turns your job into 8 credits and a writing sample at the same time. If you are outside the sector with a tight clock, take the theory paper and finish clean. The mark sheet records no penalty for choosing MEDSE-046. If you are staying with the project, the topic decides everything that follows. The school lists its topic criteria, and they are practical rather than academic. Suitability of the topic, relevance to CSR and to the time available, feasibility and the cost of collecting data, the challenges in collection and how you will meet them, and communication facilities and local language, I add a sixth. Can one person finish it alone in one season? Anchor the topic in the law because that is what makes a CSR study defensible rather than decorative. Section 135 of the Companies Act, 2013, brings a company inside the CSR obligation if it has a net worth of 500 crore rupees or more, a turnover of 1,000 crore or more, or a net profit of 5 crore or more in the immediately preceding financial year. Schedule 7 then lists the permitted activity heads. If the program you study does not sit under one of them, it is philanthropy, not statutory CSR, and an examiner can say so. Those heads are 12 ready-made topic lanes: hunger, poverty, healthcare and safe drinking water, education and vocational skills, gender equality and women's empowerment, environmental sustainability, national heritage, art and culture, armed forces, veterans and war widows, sports, central government relief funds, incubators and research funding, rural development, slum area development, and disaster management. Pick your head first, then your district. 3 title shapes work reliably here: an outcome study, an implementation study, or a comparison study. I will carry one worked outcome study through the rest of this video so you see every section filled in rather than described. The title is A Survey of Beneficiary Reported Outcomes of a CSR-funded Safe Drinking Water and Sanitation Project in Government Schools of Nashik District, Maharashtra. Look at why that title passes every test. It names a Schedule 7 head, sanitation and safe drinking water, a method, a survey, a respondent group, the beneficiaries, and a district, so the locale is fixed. It is also finishable. Compare that with a title like A Study of CSR in India. One is a project. The other is a book you will never finish. Now the supervisor, because without one, there is no proposal at all. The school lists 4 categories of eligible supervisor, academic counselors of the PGDCSR, MACSR, MADVS or MSW programs, teachers and researchers in CSR and development studies, faculty at IGNOU headquarters, and anyone holding a doctorate or a master's degree with 5 years of experience in development studies, economics, sociology, public administration, political science, extension education, social work, or a related discipline relevant to your topic. Notice what is not there: a relative with a degree, or a friend who signs without reading. The supervisor's own curriculum vitae travels with your proposal, so a mismatch is visible on page 1. The school lists what your supervisor must do: help with the topic and literature, help with data collection, give a letter of authorization, and correct the report before submission. Your proposal pack then has exactly 3 items, in this order: 1. The filled-in project proposal pro forma, which is Annexure-IV of the MEDSP-051 Project Handbook, signed by you and by your supervisor. 2. The curriculum vitae of your supervisor. 3. The project proposal itself. 3 items, not 2, not 4. A pack that arrives without the supervisor's CV is incomplete, and an incomplete pack does not get read. And here's where it goes. Project Coordinator, in brackets PGDCSR/MACSR, School of Extension and Development Studies. Block 15F, IGNOU, Maidan Garhi, New Delhi, 110068. The school also accepts scanned copies by email to the program coordinator with your name, program, enrollment number, topic, and supervisor details in the message body. Now the IGNOU PGDCSR synopsis, section by section. The school prescribes 8 sections for the MEDSP-051 proposal and only 8. Title: Introduction. objectives, problem statement, research methodology covering locale, sampling, instruments and statistical tools, expected outcome, limitations if any, and references. The whole thing runs to about 3 to 5 typed pages. It is a plan, not a first chapter. Let me fill the difficult ones in with the Nashik example. Objectives are where most PGDCSR proposals are lost. Write 3 or 4, each measurable, each starting with a verb the examiner can check. 1. To assess beneficiary reported changes in access to safe drinking water in the covered schools. 2. To examine the reported use and maintenance of the sanitation facilities created under the project. 3. To identify the operational barriers reported by school staff in sustaining them. 4. To suggest measures for improving the sustainability of similar CSR-funded school projects. An objective your own questionnaire cannot answer is an objective you should delete. The problem statement is one tight paragraph, and it has one job. It names the gap. For our example, it reads roughly like this. Company CSR reports record the number of facilities built, but rarely record whether those facilities are still in use, or what the intended beneficiaries say about them. This study addresses that gap by collecting beneficiary-reported outcomes directly from the covered schools in Nashik district. Output counted. Outcome unknown. That is a real CSR gap. And it is the gap the regulator itself is now interested in. Methodology has 4 named parts in the official list. So give it 4 labeled paragraphs. Locale. Nashik district, Maharashtra. Restricted to the government schools covered by the selected project. Sampling. 20 covered schools, purposively selected, and 6 respondents each. 1 head teacher, 2 teachers and 3 parents, giving a sample of 120. Instruments. A structured questionnaire with closed items on a 5-point scale, plus a short observation checklist completed at each school. And statistical tools. Frequency, percentage, mean score, and a ranking of reported barriers. That level of detail is the whole point. A methodology that says data will be collected through a questionnaire, from an adequate sample tells the evaluator nothing and invites a resubmission. A methodology that says 20 schools, 120 respondents, 5-point scale, mean scores, can be approved in 1 reading. The school names 2 permitted methods, case study or survey, then close with a short expected outcome, an honest limitations note, and a reference list that includes the Companies Act provisions and real company CSR reports, not only textbooks. 2 approval rules that PGD-CSR students get wrong constantly. First, the school states there is no last date for submitting the proposal. Send it whenever it is ready. Second, approval or non-approval is communicated in about 4 weeks by post or by email. The proposal has no deadline, the report does, and 4 weeks of waiting sits between them. Never begin data collection before written approval reaches you. Data gathered on an unapproved topic is data you may have to gather again. If your proposal comes back unapproved, do not start again from a blank page. The handbook says exactly what the resubmission pack contains. The revised proposal, a fresh pro forma, a copy of the rejected proposal, the pro forma carrying the evaluator's remarks, and the project proposal number allotted to you. Send all 5 together, or it looks like a new proposal and goes to the back of the queue. Now the part nobody plans and everybody regrets. The calendar. There are only 2 report deadlines in the whole MEDSP-051 year. The 31st of May, if you want the project counted in the June term end examination session. And the 30th of November for the December session. Miss one and the next result window is roughly 6 months away. Work backwards from the deadline, not forwards from today. Here is the reverse calendar for the 31st of May. Late November, fix the Schedule 7 head and shortlist 2 or 3 reachable programs. Early December, confirm the supervisor and collect the signed proforma and the CV. Mid-December, send the 3-item pack to Block 15F. Mid-January, written approval should have reached you. Late January to February, build the instrument and pilot it on 5 respondents. February and March, collect the data. Early April, tabulate and analyze. Mid-April to early May, write. Mid-May, supervisor correction and final formatting. And before the 31st of May, submit. 3 timing traps kill more PGDCSR projects than bad writing does. 1. Sending the proposal in April for a May deadline. The 4-week approval window alone eats the month. 2. Forgetting that your PGDCSR maximum duration is 36 months and the project must sit inside it. 3. The project evaluation fee. It is paid with your examination form, not at submission. Now the report itself, page by page. The MEDSP-051 report has a fixed opening and the order is not negotiable. Page 1 is the title page, Annexure-IV of the project handbook, carrying the course code MEDSP-051. The title, your name, enrollment number, address, school and year. Page 2 is the approved project proposal proforma, Annexure-II. Page 3 is the certificate of originality, Annexure-III, signed by you and by your supervisor. Bind those 3 in that sequence before anything else. A report that hides the approval proforma at the back is the classic avoidable rejection. After those 3 pages, the official body sections are these. Introduction, containing the objectives and the problem statement. Methodology with locale, sampling, instruments and the statistical tools used. Results and discussion. Summary. References and appendix. Note what is not on that list. There is no separately prescribed literature review chapter and no prescribed abstract. Many templates online add both. Include them if your supervisor wants them, but those 6 official headings are what the examiner is looking for. Results and discussion is where the marks are, and it is where most PGDCSR reports go thin. Build it objective by objective, not question by question. 1 table, then the sentence that reads the table, then the sentence that connects it back to the objective. 12 well-read tables beat 40 tables with no commentary underneath them. On length, hold to the word count. About 10,000 words, 10% either way, excluding appendices. The school presentation converts that to 40 to 50 typed pages. The handbook says about 30 to 40. Both are official and they disagree, so I flag that openly. Write the 10,000 words on A4 in 1.5 spacing and let the page count land where it lands. Padding is visible and it costs marks. For full page setup rules, see our cross-program IGNOU Project Format Guide. 1 item almost every guide leaves out. The report goes with a cover letter, and enclosed with that cover letter is Annexure-IV. The supervisor's remuneration bill for guidance of project work. That form is not bound inside the report. It travels alongside it. It is how your supervisor is paid, and forgetting it costs you nothing to avoid. And here is the second address, which is not the first one. Assistant Registrar in brackets project section. Students Evaluation Division. IGNOU Maidan Garhi, New Delhi, 110068. Alternatively, IGNOU opens an online project submission portal each session and the school's own material points to it. If you upload the entire report as one single PDF and save the confirmation. 10 things that get an IGNOU PGDCSR project sent back. 1. Data collected before written approval arrived. 2. The approved performer not bound in as page 2. 3. The certificate of originality unsigned by the supervisor. 4. A topic with no Schedule 7 anchor. 5. Objectives the data cannot answer. 6. Methodology with no sample size and no tools named. 7. Tables with no interpretation underneath. 8. A report padded far past the word limit. 9. The proposal sent to the regional center. 10. A downloaded sample rewritten lightly and submitted as original work. On that last one, be clear. IGNOU publishes no ready-made MEDSP-051 sample report. Anything you download is a format reference only. Your data has to be yours. Marks and then the question you really came here to ask. Evaluation is simple and entirely out of your hands once the report is in. 100 marks, 40% to pass. An external examiner appointed by the Students' Evaluation Division reads the report. No assignment, no examination, no Viva. And the evaluated report is not returned, so keep your own copy. On the fee, IGNOU's published slab is 300 rupees up to 4 credits and 500 above 4 credits, paid with the examination form. 8 credit MEDSP-051 falls in the higher slab. So is the IGNOU PGDCSR worth doing? And is it valid for jobs? IGNOU is a central university, and its diplomas are recognized qualifications. 8R, or PGDCSR, is a postgraduate diploma, not a master's degree. And where a master's is specifically required, a diploma will not substitute. For most CSR roles, what is asked for is a relevant qualification and demonstrable competence. And this program supplies both if you do the project. Now the part that makes MEDSP-051 unusually well-timed. Under Rule 8, Sub-Rule 3 of the company's CSR policy rules, as amended in January 2021, a company with an average CSR obligation of 10 crore rupees or more over 3 preceding financial years must obtain an independent impact assessment of any CSR project of 1 crore rupees or more, completed at least a year earlier. Independent, meaning not done in-house. That rule created a standing demand for people who can design a sampling frame, go to a district and report honestly. Which is exactly what MEDSP-051 asks you to do once, with your name on it. So here is my honest verdict for a PGDCSR learner. The diploma on its own is a credential. The diploma plus a completed district-specific, methodologically clean MEDSP-051 report is a credential and a work sample. In a field where employers now have to commission exactly this kind of study by law, the second version of you is a far easier person to hire. The questions PGDCSR students ask us most. Is MEDSP-051 compulsory in IGNOU PGDCSR? No. It is an elective paired with MEDSE-046, and one of the two has to be selected. How many credits is it? 8 out of a 36-credit diploma. Is there a Viva? No. The school states there is no assignment, no examination, and no Viva, MEDS-051 or MEDSP-051. The first is Fundamentals of CSR, 6-credit theory. The second is the 8-credit project. Where do I send the IGNOU PGDCSR synopsis? To the project coordinator, PGDCSR/MACSR, at the School of Extension and Development Studies, Block 15F, Maidan Garhi, or by scanned email to the program coordinator. Not to your regional center. Is there a last date for the proposal? The school states there is none. The report carries the 2-session deadlines. And does the PGDCSR project carry over if you later join MACSR? IGNOU publishes no stated credit transfer route for this, so ask the school directly rather than assuming. I would rather say that than invent an answer. 10 things to carry away. 1. MEDSP-051 is an elective, paired with MEDSE-046. Confirm yours on Samath. 2. 8 credits out of 36 is 22% of your PGDCSR. Treat it that way. 3. MEDS-051 is not MEDSP-051. 4. 100 marks, 40% to pass, no Viva, no assignment, no examination. 5. Proposal to Block 15F. Report to the Assistant Registrar, Project Section at the Students' Evaluation Division or online. 6. No last date for the proposal, but about 4 weeks for approval, so start early. 7. Never collect data before written approval reaches you. 8. 10,000 words, not 100 pages. 9. Title page, approved pro forma, certificate of originality, pages 1, 2, and 3 in that order. 10. Anchor the topic in Schedule 7 and name a district in the title. The written version of this guide, with the Annexure checklist, is on IGNOUProject.com. If you want help choosing a topic or shaping your IGNOU PGDCSR synopsis for MEDSP-051, message us on WhatsApp at +91 9354 637 830 and verify every date, address, and fee on ignou.ac.in and on Samath before you act, because these do change. On this channel, you will also find the IGNOU MEDSP-051 Project Guide for the same course code from the master's side, the cross-program IGNOU Synopsis and project format guides, and program-specific walkthroughs across the School of Extension and Development Studies. Subscribe if this helped. This is BK Sahni, IGNOUProject.com.